in just a couple days, we're going to see Xbox answering for their crimes. No, I'm just joking, dude. They're just going to be having a presentation. By presentation, they're going to release a podcast episode that says the future of Xbox. And they're going to answer the questions. Great. I'm excited. I think questions are definitely in order. Gosh dang it. Guys, I've been so excited recently about the Steam Deck and this portable PC gaming. I didn't really expect to like this as much as I do. And I can tell you firsthand that this guy right here has changed my access to games. And as a dad, that is massive because I'm someone who spends a good amount of time out of the reach of my gaming consoles and my gaming access simply because I am around my children or my wife, or we're all in the same room and the TV is being occupied, or I just don't want the TV to be on with my kids playing with their toys or doing crafts or whatever it may be, and I want to sit and play video games near them, right? We were out in the backyard the other day and it was just a beautiful, wonderful moment. We were all in the same area. My daughter was playing with her water table. My son was being held by my wife, and I was sitting there playing Crisis Core. I didn't even have my scale on. And I don't want this coffee. This coffee's not good. We're gonna go with my brother's coffee shop's coffee. Wait, is that this one or is that this one? Oh no, it's not either of these. It's this one. This goes to show you I have too many coffees. We're gonna go with this guy right here. It was just great, and the Nintendo Switch, it doesn't have much for me right now. There are a couple games coming out, but I just don't find myself using that as much, and the PlayStation is pretty much solely my Call of Duty and Fortnite thing. But, you know, there's something that exists that I'm very, very interested in, and that is these other portable gaming PCs. Because if the Steam Deck is any sort of indicator of what gaming can look like, I am wildly fascinated and extremely interested in stuff like the Ally, Legion Go, and the MSI Claw. Now, before we hop into that, there is a couple things I want to talk about. First things first is if you are a fan of the channel and you want to get the Play mug, it is linked below. You can just click on it. This gives me, every purchase of this, I get $4. $4 directly to me. After all fees are taken out, $4. And that's helpful. What's $4? Well, $4 is a pound of ground beef. $4 is, depending on the apples I choose, like 6 apples. So it directly affects me and helps my family, and that's very, very helpful. So if you want to buy a mug, there's other stuff like shirts and sweatshirts below. If that's your fancy, go ahead. I like merchandising. I haven't been pushing it, but I will be more and more because my community is like, bro, you need to get on your merch. And so I will be pushing it more and more and more. But yes, that also is going to change. The clothing is going to change. I'm going to change the provider because it's not my favorite quality. I don't know if I can get much better, but there's going to be a different provider. But the Play moniker, that is going to always be there. Limited stuff will come, but the Play is always there. So first, if you want to get the mug, I know I don't drink out of it anymore on these in these cups, but that's because I have these beautiful different colored ones. But this one I do drink out throughout the day. This is so beat up. These, I just like the colors, so I use those. Now, the average age of a gamer is 35 years old. 35 years old. Wild. The average age of a first-time parent, as far as a male is concerned, is 31 years old. The likelihood that you are a gamer with a child is high. And so sitting here as a parent, as someone who has kids, who just wants to have a few moments to play video games, is something that I care deeply for, because as we sacrifice for our kids, is for our families, and are good parents and present parents, making sure to raise children that are strong and know their parents, it takes a toll on us. We spend a tremendous amount of time making sure that our kids are taken care of, that our kids are paid attention to, and that they get the attention that they not only need, but also deserve, because they deserve present fathers and present parents, so to speak. And I know I speak a lot to dads because my demographic is mostly male, so I'm going to keep that father-dad verbiage. If you're a mother in here, awesome, welcome. We welcome you. We absolutely welcome you. But you are certainly a rare breed. As I speak to you dads, I relate to you in such a way because I find myself yearning for those moments, for those very, very few minutes a day to rest and to just get excited about playing a game. And as time has gone on, I certainly started in this place of like Xbox. I have changed around a bunch because my interests have changed. But my interests haven't changed because I myself am indecisive as I've sat down and thought. It is because life as it stands, as it is very much so active, vibrant, and powerful. And it does act upon me, which I think is good. I think being present and allowing for life to be a part of your decision-making process is healthy. Now let's roll the dice and let's see what cup we're using today. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You guys know the drill. We got a 7, so we're going smoke again. Sweet. Smoke is 7, 8. And I got a comment yesterday because yesterday's video was very I was in a weird place. I had a really long conversation with Discord members because I was on the verge of having to make some hard decisions, and everyone was so thankful. But a comment yesterday rattled me, and I want to read it. It is up there to read, so you can see who it is. Ritus writes 2486 says, and this is something that I've thought about all day and woke up thinking about. As a longtime viewer, what you had with me was caffeine and consoles. By that I mean you come from a unique perspective that simply isn't very present on YouTube. Most YouTubers seem to cater to a younger, more energetic audience, but the majority of gamers are in their 30s, which I can back up by evidence. I'm not going to bore you. We're child gamers that finally had to grow up, who see a good time not white-knuckling Fortnite or COD, but in chilling with some coffee and a story game. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm a fan of white-knuckling just a bit. Just a smidge. But my main draw, I'm not going to sit there and play 4 hours of COD, but I will sit there and play 4 hours of Final Fantasy Remake. Which I did, and it was incredible. We derive joy in the escapism. Not the not babble. I think I need some coffee. Not the competition. Which I can totally resonate with. And you and your brand of coffee and gaming talking about the challenges of gaming as a middle-aged father and worker is exactly representative of most gamers. Now, what I want to focus on here is that he called me middle-aged. That son of a gun. No, I'm just joking. I'm excited to be middle-aged. But if 35 is middle-aged, that means I'm going to die at 70? Come on, dude. At least give me 80. Anyway, back to the comment. That is the gold you've struck. I asked what we had here. That's if you didn't watch it, you can go back and watch it. You're a YouTube avatar. Well, interesting. But where you've missed, in my opinion, is your inconsistency. That struck me to my heart, to my core. Not because what they said or what he said was something that was so mean or aggressive, which it wasn't, was because I have been this way since high school. Your lack of self-confidence and resolve. He just hit the nail on the head. You talk about quitting or changing every few months, because I feel that way. And in a world as fragile and inconsistent and as it is already, it's really hard for me to stay motivated to watch you when I don't know if you're going to be away tomorrow. I'm sorry. But I've stuck around this long because I really like what you represent. Me. I just want, and you dash through, need you to stick around and stick to your guns. I can assure you that after much consideration, prayer, both yesterday and this morning, I am sticking around. I made a promise to give it another 90 days, but I am going to double my efforts. Triple my efforts. I'm going to stay through February 6th of 2025, because that is my start date. And if by February 6th of 2025, I feel like it is time to close doors, then I will. I very much so get a lot of joy out of being creative. But I feel like that creativeness has been put on the back burner due to necessity and also lack of time. As all parents experience when their first child is born, there is a significant change in the overall atmosphere of the household. 1, there's just an added body. 2, there's added needs and priorities shift. And 3, as a father, as a dad, as a man, there is the added responsibility of provision. And that is the number one thing that I always wrestle with here, is provision. What I've created provides me joy, but doesn't provide my family any sort of financial compensation. And that's tough to deal with. But I am committed to make that happen. How, you ask? Well, as someone who has found much joy in my new discovery of portable PC gaming, I have decided that focus is very important. My focus on gaming as a whole has been the very primary thing that I've done here, but my focus on helping dads figure out how to get into or maintain their gaming hobby, not habit, because if it's a habit, you need to quit it. But if it's a hobby, then it's intentional time you put aside to enjoy your craft or your thing. Keep doing it, Dad. My joy for that has shifted, or not joy, my joy that I get from it has shifted around from Nintendo to this, to this, to this. The focus here is very simple. How can we maintain a good balance of dad and gamer? Boom. Focus. Nailed. How I'm doing it personally and how I'm exploring it more practically is through this handheld PC gaming. I find it to be wildly fascinating that I now have access to a plethora of games, and every console out there, with the exception of Nintendo, because they're Nintendo, is going, yo, we want a piece of that pie, dog. We want to be in the PC space. And I get it. I absolutely get it. And with necessity and with the different life poles that are professional jobs for a lot of you, dad for most of you, husband for a good amount of you too, as well as cook, you better all have a barbecue, right? Like, we do so much. Sitting outside during a 12-hour smoke of your briskets, what you can do, sit and stare at the wall, or pick up your Steam Deck and go ham on some Halo 2. 'Cause it's awesome. I tested it with my buddy who lives out of state, and we played couch co-op. He was in his couch, I was on my couch. He was playing on his PC, mind you, so not on his couch, and I was playing on my Steam Deck. Co-op, dog. Co-op. Halo 2. Can you just tell me a time where, like, we have Halo 2 going, and in the background, I'm listening to Hybrid Theory? Yo, 2005 called. It's happening again. Can we just talk about that for a second? Like, that's the joy, though, right? That's the joy. Both he and I have 2 kids. His are a couple years older than mine. Mine being 8 months old and 3 years old right now. But we had that moment to recharge, to refresh, to smile from ear to ear as if we were children again. Dads, we have so many ways to play, and there is no wrong way to play, whether it's Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, or PC. I certainly have a new avenue that I want to explore due to, one, my lack of knowledge, and therefore it's exciting for me. But two, if I was to make a prediction what the next 10 years is going to look like in this space, I predict with full confidence that in the next 10 years, this is the format. Some sort of multimedia style device that allows you to have access to as many games as possible and anywhere with very, very little compromise when it comes to performance. And now, I know that I got a hair in my mouth. Gross. Says the man with a full beard. I know that the performance that we have in something like this is lesser than the performance we have in something like this. This giant behemoth of a device, the Legion Go, which I'm still on the fence whether I'm going to fully return it or not. The reason why I have that is because I believe that this is actually the full-fledged future. A completely portable, fully functional PC. It's clunky still because this is by and large still in beta, whereas this, the Steam Deck, is no longer in beta. I believe the first LCD version was the beta version, and then this is truly Gen 1. This OLED model with the new upgraded everything internally and as well as the better hardware around the whole thing, this is the best Steam Deck by far. It's incredible. But if all digital, which I firmly am against, but that doesn't mean it's not going to happen. If all digital is the future, why would I stick to console? Why would I stick to a gaming structure, a gaming model that requires me to upgrade their proprietary hardware? Whereas something like a PC, a portable PC, or a standalone PC has the flexibility to maintain some element of gaming capability throughout multiple generations with mild adjustments here and there. But here's the kicker, Dad. Here's the kicker, Pops. Here's the kicker, Father. It also doubles as a tool in your home. And as fathers, we all know that tools are important. You don't want to be a tool, you want to have tools. Especially if we're followers of Tim the Toolman Taylor. 90s kids unite, yeah? Good grief almighty. I am wildly optimistic that the future of gaming has quite a massive, massive opportunity for something great. This is wild to me, this whole thing. Sure, we're not innovating with this. Who has this? The Switch. But the fact that this, on the other hand, is a mouse that has been created with different types of things. This is innovation, right? And I think that in a world of gaming, and if I'm being honest, in a world of content creation around gaming, positioning oneself in innovation path is the most important when it comes to attention span, fascination, and success. I think that as a dad, I never would have thought. I thought that console gaming was the answer for maintaining a really strong and good grasp on gaming as a present father. And while I still think that console gaming has a very, very strong pull here in 2024, especially PlayStation and Nintendo, I am seeing that maybe, just maybe, there is a new player. And I'm not saying new player as in a new person playing. I'm saying new player as a new way to play. Yes, portable PCs have been around for a while, for sure. But the access, the flexibility, and most of all, dude, like I was playing Final Fantasy 1 yesterday, which I just turned on, and we're playing again, And I'm reading, it's just Lucan's prophecy foretold. When darkness veils the world, 4 warriors of light shall come. Oh wait, I gotta finish making this video. It's paused. Thank you, Nintendo, for creating the very, very forged path from PC to console. And you showed that there was interest in both. Sit down, I guess not PC console, but sit down and stand up. Dads, I understand that, there's been a lot of things moving around. My commitment is to maintain some element of consistency. So, for the time being, I am implementing a release schedule. The only release schedule that will exist is a minimum of Tuesdays and Fridays at 8 a.m. Pacific. Boom. Signed, sealed, delivered. Tuesdays and Fridays, 8 a.m. Pacific. Okay? Boom. You heard it here first, folks. Anything more is extra. I'm not going to finish this because it's my second one today, and I need to get this up by 8 a.m. Pacific. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. And this won't be up by 8 a.m. Pacific, but moving forward, 8 a.m. Pacific. All right, happy gaming.